Go for it.
Oh, yeah. 3 pre-rolls this week. Starting with AG1 for once. AG1 is the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. Take ownership of your health. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/JRVP. That's drinkag1.com/JRVP. Thank you to our sponsor, Policy Genius. If you have a family like I do, you know how much your loved ones depend on you. In a worst-case scenario, don't want them worrying about money. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find and buy it. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes. See how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. Also, thank you to JamesAllen.com. JamesAllen.com is the online destination for designing a custom engagement ring she'll love more easily than you ever thought possible. Save up to 50% compared to traditional stores. Get 25% off your order when you go to JamesAllen.com. Use the code JRVP. That's code JRVP at JamesAllen.com for 25% off. JamesAllen.com. 3 pre-rolls starting strong today. It's just what we do before sneaking into North Korea, pooping at our parents' house, and all the Kenergy you can handle on episode 213 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
Sublime.
That's from the movie right there. I don't need to ask for the first time.
So, Aaron, did you see Barbie?
No, no.
Aaron, are you on mic?
Sorry, I was turned off. No, I did not.
Would you have been on mic originally if you had paid attention during run through?
No, I turned it off because I was adjusting my chair.
It's fun. You know, Anthony, when he gets on tour and he's Mr. Big Theater, suddenly he's coming in and he thinks he's too good for me and Aaron.
Speaking of too good for everyone, last weekend I was not in the theater. Last weekend I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I went in and I told them right off the bat, I was like, I tried to get out of this. I was supposed to do this in January when I was like working on stuff, and I had to reschedule. I got sick.
You told the audience?
Yeah. And I was like, I did everything I could. I was like, do I have to do this? But now I'm here and I'm just going to tear the fucking roof off the place. And then I had 6 of the best shows I've had on the whole tour. It was great. Fun weekend. I've got the act exactly where I want it to be going into the bigger theaters this weekend. I'm doing, where am I? Northampton.
Sublime.
Northampton, Burlington, and then Montreal. A couple shows in Montreal. So I'm excited for this weekend. And then I get a couple weeks off. And then things start to pick up a little bit in August, and then September, where it's go time. But I'm excited. I've been working on my back. Having to exercise a lot. Like I'm getting massages, and they're like, okay, this is what we've got. Fix this thing now. Start to exercise. So I've been getting up at like 8 a.m. and walking like 3 miles on an inclined treadmill, stretching out. I bring a foam roller in my suitcase. That's how pathetic. People think, oh, comedy, it must be a crazy party, right? No, it's a foam roller in your carry-on. That's what it is.
It's a 3-hour walk in the morning with Rummy. I'm sure Rummy loves getting the quality time, though. You've been on the road a lot, so that's nice. Shout out to Western Mass, by the way, Northampton, Mass. That's where I think that's where I went on my first date as a young man.
Oh yeah, how young?
I mean, like 15 or something.
Okay. Aaron, do you believe that?
15?
Yeah.
Nah.
I had
Too early.
I had a girlfriend that was 2 years older, and she already had a car.
Okay.
And so she drove me there.
I believe that. I believe that. I'll take that one. Saw some movies this weekend, or in between the last podcast and this one. I did see Barbie last night. When did you see Barbie?
Sunday night.
Because we had talked about going together. I was like, maybe we'll try to go either Sunday or Monday.
We were supposed to Barbenheimer.
Do a Barbenheimer. I was into it. And then I looked, tickets for Oppenheimer are impossible because you got to see it in IMAX. I'm not going to one of the lesser screens. I'd be happy to if it wasn't in IMAX still, but I'm like, let me wait a week. I'll go do it. And then I saw Mission Impossible last week, and then saw Barbie. Liz went and bought tickets herself, and was like, I'm taking you to Barbie. We went. What did you think of the movie? Aaron, have you seen Barbie?
I have not.
Okay. Are you going to?
I will not.
Okay.
Oh, how dare you? I loved it. I thought I'm a big Greta Gerwig fan. I'm the biggest of Greta Gerwig fans, I would say, going back. I'm like Greenberg and Miss Americana. What was it? Miss America or Mistress America are like two of my favorite underrated movies. Both Greta fans. So that's how deep I go. And I felt like the thread that she had to needle that she had to thread here was so difficult. It was like in figure skating or whatever. The degree of difficulty to make this movie good and entertaining, and she tried to slap some like meaning on it too at the end, and I think it had it. I think she nailed it. It was fun.
Here's my review. Ryan Gosling screaming "Sublime" was my biggest laugh of the movie. Maybe my only laugh of the movie.
Oh,
Again, like I was happy. I'm happy that this is like the movie of the summer. You know, it's not like a bunch of like mindless violence. Not that I like, and I do enjoy John Wick, whatever, you know, I like good fight choreography, but this was like, they have dance-offs to settle problems. I thought I thought they nailed the tone.
that's what I mean.
The performances were great. It looked great. Performances are great. It was weird. It's bizarre for this to be like a tentpole summer movie.
That's why I liked it.
That I liked it, but I was bored. I would have loved to have trimmed 20 minutes, half an hour off that thing. And I could not hear the word Barbie and one more time in the movie.
Hi, Barbie.
But I enjoyed it. I'm glad it's there. And I liked it more than I liked Mission Impossible. Aaron, have you seen Mission Impossible?
No, I'm going to do Mission in Poppenheimer this weekend, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mission in Poppenheimer? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. Mission Impossible, and I've loved all of them. I even liked, it's the worst of them all, but part 2 of Mission Impossible is like, I can kind of like get there, you know, because I like the Mission Impossible movies so much. The last one with Henry Cavill was a masterpiece, was incredible, infinitely rewatchable, insane stunts, everything's amazing. This new one fucking sucks.
Oh, jeez.
It fucking sucks. They changed the whole tone. Now it's like soft. Everyone's really dramatic. You know the scene, I'm not spoiling anything, the motorcycle scene where Tom Cruise flies off the mountain. They've been promoting this the entire time. Mm-hmm. Before that scene, in the old movies, he would have just been racing around, seeing the mountain, flying off it, boom, great stunt, keep running. In this movie, he stops, looks at the mountain, sees what he's got to do. I swear to fucking Christ, Tom Cruise lowers his head to think about 2 different female characters in the movie. 2 separate female characters as their heads float on the screen to show that he's thinking about them, and then he does the stunt. And it was shit like that that like ruined it. The last one was badass. This one had no badass stuff in it. It was just like, we're friends, we're a team. We're a team. The team gives us strength. It fucking sucked. I'd rather watch Barbie again. Only every character just says the word Barbie. Than see Mission Impossible again, and I was very excited for that. So again, I think Oppenheimer is going to be awesome. I'm excited to see it next week. We can talk and figure out our schedule. Mm-hmm. I have time off after I get back on Monday from Montreal, and we'll Oppenheimer it up.
I can't believe you were bored though. I agree. Like they could have, especially the ending. I need to spoil anything, but the ending where they tried to like sort of make a bigger message. The whole kind of the real perma. I mean, she was great, but. Didn't totally need that, but I love that it stayed very weird. There's a Steve Malkmus shout out. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Steve. I mean, there were good jokes. That was a funny joke. Like Ryan Gosling had me laughing more than once, than just yelling out Sublime.
That was a big got me to laugh out loud. I smiled a few times, but again, I was just like, yeah, okay, I get it. I'm a little bored. If Margot Robbie had not been in the movie.
She was incredible.
It would have fucking failed so
That's
hard.
what I mean about the degree of difficulty, though. Yeah. Like, to make a script out of this idea. It was a good idea to make a movie out of Barbie, the one they came up with. But it was pretty tough to make that all work. And they made it work, just because Greta Gerwig is a total badass. And then so are her 2 leads.
I wish they had. I'm not excited for the Greta Gerwig like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe bullshit.
Is that what she's doing?
Yeah, it's like when Greta Gerwig was going to be How I Met Your Father. Like nobody wants that shit, Greta. Like we'll give you a Barbie, but the next movie better be in black and white.
That's what I thought when I heard she was doing Little Women. I was like, oh, is that biting off more than you can chew? No, Little Women was amazing. Frances Ha Amazing.
Aaron, did you
It's
see
all
Little
amazing.
Women? Me neither.
No.
You're crazy.
Yeah, missed me with that shit. I was gonna go see last night. I was gonna go see Barbie and then Oppenheimer. I was gonna try to sneak in and see it with Liz. Liz wanted to. And as we're walking over to the theater, I hear a psst, psst, and I turn around and I assume I'm being recognized. You know, like, hey, Anthony Jeselnik, can I get a picture? And he's like, what are you going to see? And I'm like, oh, we're gonna try to go see Oppenheimer. And he's like, why do you want to see Oppenheimer? And I was like, because he's an American hero. You know, he saved the world as we know it. And by creating whatever you want to say about the bomb, if the Germans created it first, we lose that war. It's good that we won the war. Bombs are bad. It's good that we won the war. Thank you, Dr. Oppenheimer. He's an American hero, and the guy's...
Put that in a history book. That's the whole section.
I'm quoting a history book. And the guy goes, if you really want to see... Yeah, I know why he kept whispering. If you really want to see an American hero, come with me. And I was like, well, I don't have tickets to that one. He's like, you don't need tickets. And I'm like, what is this? And I sat down with Liz and a bunch of other, what I'm going to describe as patriots. And we watched Sound of Freedom. Hey, Aaron, have you seen Sound of Freedom? Aaron, how many times have you seen Sound of Freedom?
Half dozen?
Half dozen times? That's pretty good. I've only seen it once so far, but I got the novelization today and I was reading through it, and I want to go see it again either tonight or tomorrow. I hope it's showing on the plane, because I'd love to watch it on the plane. Do you know anything about Sound of Freedom?
Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel, Jesus Christ himself, is the star of this. And you know, what's your favorite Jim Caviezel movie?
Jesus, the movie.
Jesus the movie. Jesus gets his ass kicked for
Yeah.
2.5 hours. I'll tell you what's a great one. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Have you ever seen Radio with Jim Caviezel? Where Jim Caviezel, his dad is Cuba Gooding Jr., and he's mentally challenged. And he's back in like the 50s or the 60s, and Jim Caviezel's in present day. And Jim Caviezel finds a radio where he can talk to his dad, Cuba Gooding Jr., in the 50s. And together they have to like figure things out so that Cuba Gooding Jr. can win the football game in the 60s. Am I right about that, Aaron?
Spot on.
It's an amazing movie. Definitely watch Radio, starring Jim Caviezel and Cuba Gooding Jr. But this one is incredible. Jim Caviezel is the ultimate badass. Imagine if Kid Rock cut his hair. That's Jim Caviezel in this movie. It's incredible. He does not smile. He just makes love to the camera. And it's a science fiction movie where it's like an alternate universe where child trafficking is a thing. You know how here there's no child trafficking? Like, people will, it's a conspiracy theory that there is child sex trafficking.
Right. We solved that, right?
It's not a thing.
Right.
It's not a thing. People think that in Hollywood you get to have sex with little kids all the time. It's not that fun. It's a lot of work trying to be in show business. You think I just walk up on stage and then there's like a room full of little kids that have been trafficked and taken from their families who wanted them, and then they're left to be kept in a room until I finish my performance and I'm ready for them. That's not how it works. Anyway, this movie goes into what it would be like if that was a thing, and he stops it in that universe. It's amazing. You see it in 3D. See it in 3D if you can, because it's like the kids are trying to like reach out to you for you to help them. And you can hold up your hands in the 3D and be like, it's not real.
Now, I have a big question. I have a lot of questions, but
Please.
Fire
away.
Is Cuba Gooding Jr. in the movie?
As background. But you don't like, he doesn't have any lines, but you can see him in certain scenes. He's the one kind of being like, stop. He like holds up a stop sign. It's like, stop trafficking. You get it.
Is like how did he stop all the trafficking? Caviezel.
Red lights. Red lights.
Okay. Was the theater empty? Because you know they've been. There's the only thing I don't know much about this movie. The big story was how like people are buying tickets for the theater, like paying it forward, and then there's just these empty theater because what you got to tell people that you bought the tickets. They're just buying the tickets.
You got to tell people you bought the tickets. And I think if you show up and say, I want to go see the movie, I'm a patriot, they let you in. But what happens is you go into the theater, it's an empty theater, and before the movie starts, before the trailers start, you got to say the Pledge of Allegiance. It's like if you eat a meal and you don't say grace before the meal, does God know there's something in your stomach? Does God know you ate something? No, he does not. They do not, sorry. So it's like if you go in to see Sound of Freedom, and if you say Pledge of Allegiance up top, then people are like, okay, now we can come in and sit down. It's simple.
Barben Freedom. That's the new one.
Sound of Heimer. It's an incredible movie. I'm glad it made $200 million. Sound of Freedom.
I can't wait to see where they go next. You know, the CTCU is only going to get bigger.
It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. I mean, get QAnon into more movies. They are reasonable. They've been coming after me again. I think they're emboldened by a Sound of Freedom, and so I've seen the hey, Anthony Jeselnik, what about this tweet you had? And I love that. I always love QAnon.
Well, now they're gonna love you even more because you saw the movie. Is Guy Pearce in it?
You'd want him to be, but I think this is a Caviezel joint.
Okay,
there's only room for Caviezel, but Caviezel just seems like a guy you want to have a beer with.
Right.
Doesn't Caviezel seem like a guy that you just want to like sit down and just like watch, turn on the game?
It's like he's a patriot, a regular Joe.
It'd be like, well, hey, what's Cuba Gooding Jr. like in real life? Is he in the movie? He can't talk? I want to know.
Right. I just figured that would be a way to kind of connect the radio fans and the Sound of Freedom fans, because it feels like there'd be a lot of carryover.
Sound of Freedom doesn't have fans, it has fanatics. It's got people that know for a fact that child sex trafficking is in an alternate universe and not our own. It's like Barbie in that way. There's like a Barbie world you can go to. There's a world of
Barbie land.
Child sex trafficking. It's Kenergy. And that was the week. And now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes? Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? You know, if you're a QAnoner and a JRVPer, let us know. Shoot me an email. Send us some merch. Send us some Q merch. I would love that shit. I would love it.
Looks like the All Things Comedy offices, our boss Bill Burr got some notes.
Listen, so we got some notes. We got into the studio today, and it is lit up. We got different lighting. The light is crisp, I would say. In the past, we had some filters over it that it kind of made us a weird color. They've painted the walls.
I mean, I'm a weird color. I'm like a ghost. I'm washed out.
That's just when you contrast it to the dandruff on your shirt.
It's not I don't know what's going on.
You got to put like a bib on when you masturbate, so it doesn't just come right on your chest. And then
everyone subscribe to the YouTube, Anthony Jeselnik.
So listen, they fixed everything. I've been complaining for a little while now. I'd say how long? Like 6 months, Aaron?
Day one?
Day one? Yeah, about how it looks in here. So I walk in today, and it's different. They've painted the walls, and they've changed the lighting, and it does look better. It looks a lot better, because before it looked like such shit. I believe my note was do anything, and it will be better. And so I walk in and I'm like, oh, wow. And Aaron's like, yeah, we just finished this today. We wanted to get it done for you. And I'm like, oh, you did this for me? And Aaron said, no. Aaron, who'd you do it for?
Well, I mean, Bill.
Who?
Bill had some suggestions. Bill Burr?
Who?
Bilbenheimer?
Who? Aaron, we went to do some run through.
Bill, what? Did we?
Who?
Burr.
Who?
Bill Burr.
Who?
Bill Burr.
Who?
Bill Burr.
Aaron? Who? I don't recognize those names. I only know one name.
Burr?
No.
What?
Aaron, who?
Did we do this?
Aaron?
Was I busy?
Who?
Is it in the notes?
Aaron, we've talked about this person on almost every episode for the past 3 months.
Was it The Weeknd?
No. It's your boss.
Uh-huh.
When you know him, you get to call him.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Billy.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's why you pay attention in the read-through, so I don't blow my top like I warned I would do. Yeah, apparently Billy came in. Billy, you said Billy interviewed Jim Gaffigan in here?
Yes.
And as both two pale men, they were like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then Billy was like, has anyone mentioned this before? Why isn't no one who pays the rent on here to come in and rent the table in the room and rent the mics and rent the cameras and turn the lighting on and put money towards air conditioning. Why haven't any of those people said anything? And you were like, Anthony Jeselnik did. And he was like, well, Jeselnik said it, then make it happen right now.
That's true.
Get it done before he gets in here. And then what did Gregg and I do as soon as we walked in?
Well, I wouldn't say so much you as much as Gregg.
Yeah, Gregg shit all over.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because you said you've spent your week on it. It does look better.
It's better. Listen, anything different would be better. A fire would have improved
The
it.
setup looked better. I'm not sure about Elizabeth Wurtzel back there, but we've got like a little table, which I guess depends if it's in the shot. But just the contrast of the light, the pale man factor. You know, I look like a ghost over here.
That's not really Elizabeth Wurtzel. She's dead. Other notes to get to. Listen, I said last week I was going to stop talking about the people guessing which comedian I do not like. It's not that I don't just like this person. It's that I like hate everything they represent. And again, like people are almost getting further away.
I keep forgetting to ask you. I saw
a couple guesses and they made me laugh. Ari Shaffir. That's a good guess. Ari's been divisive. No, it's not Ari Shaffir. This one really made me laugh. Sal Volcano. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Sal Volcano. If you think I've spent 1 second of my entire life thinking about Sal fucking Volcano, you're out of your mind. Is he one of the prank guys? What do they call it?
The Impractical Jokers.
Is he one of the Impractical Jokers?
He is, yes.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sal. Go with God.
Is it Volcano?
Volcano?
It's Volcano.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he walked in here right now, I would not know who he was. Hey, Sal, you want to go on stage without a mic in your ear telling you what to say and talk to people? Be my guest. Never given you a second thought in my life. Neither of those people. So continue. I'm enjoying this game now. Maybe every week I'll give you updates, but I will never tell you who it is. I will only tell you who it is not. Also, it's not Tom Segura. Get out of my fucking face. He's my friend. I love him. He can do no wrong. I wish I was Christina P. And that was, did we get any notes? Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? A couple things we forgot to mention in Did We Get Any Notes? First of all, we're taking next week off. We are not going to be here next week. There will be no podcast. We're not pre-taping anything. We're just not going to be here. We're just not doing it. We're not doing it next week. So you have a week. Other thing, I'm going to be going on tour starting in New Orleans in September. Again, I've got a couple shows in the next couple weeks, but the tour really kicks off in September. Here's a call. Here's a call to any of our listeners who are also tattoo artists or no tattoo artists, and I'm coming to your city. DM me. Reach out. Maybe we can work something out. I'm not asking for anything free. I'm just saying reach out.
The DMs are open.
We'll see.
Where? On what?
I don't know if my DMs are open. Maybe if you can't DM me, I don't know how this works. I know I get DMs from people.
I mean, it's not that hard. I can check for you, but all you do is you look at the DM settings, and it's like, do you have it allowed that people have to follow you? Do you have to follow someone for them to DM
know.
you?
I know I've gotten DMs. I know I've gotten Sharon Stone DM'd me famously. I don't know how
Did
she
you
got
follow
in there.
her?
No. I follow 18
think
people.
you're good.
But every time I do a story about a tour date, someone's like, "Come to Europe."
Okay, then you're good. I think most public figures, or even with a decent amount of followers, like I did this, switch the setting to like only people who I follow can DM you, or else you'd just be getting it all the time. But now you're asking for it.
I don't really look. If you're a tattoo artist, come at me. Show me your stuff. Maybe we'll work something out. I would love to work something out in New Orleans. I've been looking, but we'll see. We will see. And now it's time to take it down to a little place.
Oh wait, I have another note. I got a DM from a fan of the show who says you both need to see They Cloned Tyrone.
Okay.
I don't know why. He said you guys need to see it. It'll be good counter programming to some of the.
It's like a recommendation station from the listener.
Yeah, that's not a note, Aaron. You didn't have to say that.
Well, when we already went past the notes, technically, anyways.
We were back into it.
But you were back in.
It's kind of a note.
Now it's time to take it down to a little place that takes no notes and is always getting tattoos from people who've never given a tattoo before. That's how fucking crazy they are. It's Email Corner. Email Corner. Email. Emails are a thing. Emails. Email Corner. Emails. It's Email Corner. Guys, emails. They're a thing. I don't need Bill Burr. I don't need Billy climbing down out of his ivory tower to tell me emails are a thing. I know it. Aaron, why would you listen to Bill and not me? Is it because he actually owns the company and he's your boss?
Could be that.
Okay. But if I owned the company and Bill Burr had nothing to do with this place, and I came in and said, I'm your boss, paint these walls, and then Bill came in and said, hey, paint these walls, you would do it, but you would be listening to me the whole time?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if in this universe there was a podcast, the Burr and Rosenthal Vanity Project? BRVP.
You're on your own on that one. That's the universe where kids get trafficked and molested. The universe where you have that podcast. So enjoy that universe.
CTCU.
Kick back with Jim Caviezel and listen to his mentally disabled dad talk to him on the radio about the high school game.
That's actually how the sequel starts. It's just Caviezel on the subway listening to BRVP.
Dad, I don't understand. What? That's the whole... It's great.
First question is from Brendan Smith. You can email us at jrvpjuniorvicepresident@gmail.com. And we need some good emails for that next episode in a few weeks. Hey, Anthony, 3-part question for you. You've talked in the past about some of the differences between clubs and bigger theaters and arenas. Have you ever performed in any outdoor venues? Can you talk about some of the differences performing in an outdoor venue, such as the one you'll be in Halifax in a couple of weeks? Also, he asked, have you ever been to Halifax? And what are you most looking forward to about this festival in Halifax?
Good question. I am very, very, very focused on this Halifax festival. We talked about it before. It's the 3-night festival. It's Billy one night, Jerry Seinfeld one night, and me the other night. I'm very aware that Seinfeld and Burr sold out almost immediately, and that my tickets are still selling as we speak. There's no fucking way in hell I'm gonna even let the door open up to the fact that I'm the coming in third place in this thing. I am coming in to fucking win it. I'm doing the thing I do where I like visualize how it's gonna go down, which I rarely do, but if I'm very serious, like there's no fucking way I'm having even anything other than like a phenomenal set. And it is very different performing in an outdoor venue for 5,000 people versus like, a theater of 3,000 people is different than obviously a comedy club of 250 people, but it's mostly sound. It's like it's hard to hear yourself. The timing of the laughs is different. You have to kind of focus up and feel like, when are you supposed to talk again? Are you waiting too long? You can't, if someone screams something, you can't really answer it the way you could in a theater or a club. That you really just have to focus up. And I am beyond focused for this. I'm very excited. I'm doing nothing in Halifax. Liz and I get in the night before, late night. The next day I'm going to be going, maybe get lunch, and then I don't know when the festival is, what time everything is, but I'm going to be getting there, focusing on knocking that shit to the goddamn moon, and then flying home the next day.
When is that?
That is in like 2 or 3 weeks. It's like the middle of August.
All right, let's step up,
So I'm fired up.
JRVP listeners in Halifax.
I'm sure it'll sell out. It seems like a great festival. I'm excited to be there. They seem excited to have me. But if it was like some other comics I'd never heard of, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do my best here. But this is like, I'm fired up. I'm coming for Jerry's throat. Coming for Jerry's throat.
We need people, and Brendan, you might be that person, to go to all three and then send us an email, jrvp@juniorvicepresident@gmail.com, and compare and contrast. And if Anthony rips Seinfeld's throat out, explain how.
I want to walk off stage to like thunderous applause, and then the applause dies down, and I just hear right behind me, what is the deal with me being the third worst comedian of the weekend? I want to hear that. And then I want to turn around and be like, Jerry, it's okay. You're not the third worst. And then I want to hear like, geez, I think I might be number 3 here. Jesus, That's what I want to hear. If that doesn't happen, when I walk off stage, then I don't know what's up.
It's cool, though, that they're just hanging out, watching your show, watching your set,
separate,
debating the rankings.
On either side of the stage, just watching. Jeez, I thought I was the best one. I'm not even close.
It's like,
Eh.
what's with the light in here? I don't know.
That's a terrible impression, Greg. Aaron, was that the worst impression you've ever heard?
It's up there.
It's so bad. And meanwhile, I'm auditioning for SNL, basically, every time I open my mouth.
I really like this next email. It's from Ryan. He lives in Breckenridge in an apartment with his wife. His parents have a vacation home up here. I'll now go in his voice. I sometimes go to their home to do laundry, but nothing more. Talking about his parents. In many ways, that house is the culmination of everything my parents worked for. As such, they're very anal about things being clean and in place. Every few months, my dad calls me and accuses me of disturbing something in the home. Usually it's a few things, but one thing remains consistent. He always accuses me of pooping in his master bathroom toilet and not flushing. I've never even used his toilet. The water just gets gross after months of non-use. It was funny at first, but now it's getting annoying, and no matter how much I deny it, he never believes me. What do I do? Thanks, you guys rock, Ryan.
I would think it's very funny when parents like have to accept something and they're never going to believe it, but they just have to be like, okay, I believe you didn't shit in my toilet. This is great. First of all, where's he writing this letter from? What like third world country is he in that he doesn't have a toilet camera? I'm telling you, if you don't have a toilet camera in 2023 on all your toilets, even your floating toilet's got to have a toilet camera on it.
Right.
So you know what's happening in there.
How do you even like watch the footage afterwards?
How do you know if it's number one or number two unless you got a toilet camera? I want to know what's happening in there at all times. It's my house. It's my home. I want a toilet in the camera. And I want cameras around the toilet too. I want to know everything.
Right. When someone's taking care of your dog or, your personal, so you just want to know, like, okay, are people treating my home with respect?
I want to take the footage I have from my toilet cameras and bathroom cameras, feed it into a 3D printer, and be able to print a life-size statue of anyone who's used my toilet and what they've done in there. Okay? This is America. I am Jim Caviezel. Q. Got to have a toilet camera. America. Secondly, if the first time my dad accused me of using his toilet, I would then use his toilet every time after that. I would never stop. It might be an upper decker situation. That might be fun. Or
no one's ever really done that.
In front of the toilet. That would really send him off. If I were you, I'd be more concerned with who is pooping in my dad's toilet. Maybe you come close to death every time you go and do laundry there. Why are you doing laundry in your dad's house? You can go to a laundromat. Have someone pick it up. Pay them the money. It's worth it. I would shit on the floor. Here's what you do. You go. You bring your toilet cameras. Before you install them, you shit on the floor. You install the toilet cameras so they don't see the shit on the floor. You leave. You give the password to your dad so your dad can watch the toilet cameras. And then when he comes back, he sees the shit. And then he's got to assume it's a ghost. That's what I would do here. That's the move. What do you think, Gregg?
I want to know what else he gets accused of. I love that every few months he just calls him and he has like a list of things, and the list changes. I want to know what else is on that list. But the toilet thing is consistent, and I have to feel like you're right. It's his dad not wanting to confront something, but he can't deal with that his mom stinkers. Like the wife, he sees his wife, Ryan's lovely mom, as an angel, and he can't. The dad can't really come to terms with that the mom's just dropping like huge stinkers in the toilet.
Listen, it's not about dropping huge stinkers, all right? It's about not flushing the stinkers.
I don't know why.
You gotta really be committed to breaking into someone's house just to use their bathroom and then not flush it to like let them know, hey, I was here.
Well, it's their vacation home. Yeah, he comes over. They know he comes over. He says the water just gets gross after months of non-use.
Well, yeah, but you're
having a
in
huge, or particles of shit doesn't happen from non-use. So that part is hard to understand.
It's a vacation home, so he's not there. They seem like they're not there that
they're
often.
not.
Yeah,
they're
I
not
get
there all
this.
the time.
I got this the whole time. That the son mostly stops in there during the year, and they come every once in a while. I get it. Dad stops in. He's like, "Hey, things are different in here. Someone's breaking in and pooping and not flushing." I would even leave a sign on the toilet that says, "Hey, You use this all you want. Just flush it, please. Please.
Or like a sign-in sheet. That's what I used to do before I had a camera. Just a little sign-in sheet at the door of the bathroom. It's like a guest book when you come over to like an Airbnb. You know what I mean?
I think if you're not going to use toilet camera, here's what you do. Have you ever seen Lethal Weapon 2?
Sure.
Aaron, Lethal Weapon 2?
Of course.
Toilet bomb. They sit down on the toilet. Everything's fine. They go to wipe. The toilet paper says boom on it. And that's how they know once they get up off the toilet, it's going to explode. And sure, you can try to get the whole team in there to freeze it. You can try to get your partner to hold your hands and then pull you off and you fall into a tub next to it and hope you survive the explosion. Sure, you can try that. But what are the odds of it happening twice, Aaron?
I mean, not high.
Thank you. You should write movies.
Our next question is
You should write movies and you should install cameras in and around your toilet.
Yep.
Could be an idea for a movie right there.
Toilet camera?
Well, yeah, just like found footage from it. It could be like, that Amy Winehouse documentary where they just kind of connected a lot of different cell phone footage, but
I would
instead
love
do that with toilet footage.
I would love to see a movie where it's just one character and they're inside a toilet the whole time. They're not locked in there. They're there by choice, but they're there the whole time. It's just them and the camera. It's like Lock, but in a toilet.
What was the horror movie? Because I saw them.
I can't get back to work right now. Things are going on too much. I can't get back to work. I'm in the toilet. I'm in the toilet. Look at the cameras if you don't believe me. I'm in the toilet. That's Lock. Did you ever see it?
Did not.
I tried. It was impossible.
Ghoulies was the one I was thinking of, where they jump out of the toilet.
Mm-hmm. It was on the cover.
Joshua Bishop. Yeah, we rented those movies back in the day. Joshua Bishop from Michigan says he's a big fan of you, Anthony. He's made an exception to my no podcast rule for JRVP.
What?
He asks, would you rather do a 12-hour podcast with Gregg and Aaron, no breaks, you can pee in bottles and eat on the air, but everything would be recorded, or do a 2-hour podcast with 3 of your least favorite ex-coworkers, either in the industry or from before?
This is so easy. 12-hour podcast. I love that shit like that. If we ever had to do a 12-hour podcast, it would be some of the best comedy I've ever done in my life. Something about, you hit that because we do an hour and a half every week. Once I hit that 40-minute mark, I'm gone. I'm blacked out. I don't know what happens to the last, 50 minutes of the podcast. So if we did a 12-hour one, we could just run in the bathroom. Actually, it would pee in jars. That would be fun. Eating in here, when Aaron would break down and cry. At some point,
Would definitely happen.
every hour on the hour, I would love it. I think that would be fun. Doing any podcast with anyone I don't like is like nails on a chalkboard. I think I did one in my entire life a long time ago with
who?
someone I didn't like. I'm not going to say. I guess I could say now. I don't know if it's worth it. And I didn't hate the guy. I just didn't like him. And then the podcast was so uncomfortable, because I was just I let it be known I didn't respect what he did, and it was really awkward. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. It's not worth it. I don't need the publicity. So if you see me in a podcast with someone, I like them with just a few exceptions.
I knew you would answer, or I thought you would answer it that way, but I'd like to hear the second one. I mean, just as a listener, I feel like that would be better podcasting. Podcasting.
Here's every podcast
and 3
with
your enemies.
Here's every podcast with someone who's my enemy. Ask me a question.
Anthony, so how's your comedy been going lately?
Pretty good.
Just pretty good. You still working on that dead baby stuff, or new, or what's going on?
Yeah, I just do my thing. That's it. My answers are very, very short. And just get me out of here. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, well, that's the way. That's the way to ruin their podcast. So that's good, because if you actually have some sparks, you just like me too much, and Aaron too. You just love hanging out with us. Whereas I think if you had the conflict with these people you don't like, that would be good.
That's not me being a guest. That's me having to do a podcast where I'm the driving force. That's a different thing. I would never sign up for that. But how about, let's put the question to you. Would you rather do a 12-hour podcast with me and Aaron, or one of your Around the NFL podcasts?
Stop. I did one today. We're back. Mm-hmm. We're back in the studio.
Thank God.
We're all together. We're doing great.
The NFL's doing great. The NFL Network's doing great. Deshaun Watson's doing great. Now he's fine talking about it. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the guy.
Stop.
Oh, everyone's mad at Deshaun. What did he ever do to dozens and dozens of women? I'll tell you what. Deshaun Watson better not even try to go see Barbie. He better not try to fucking rent it on demand. Keep that Apple TV remote out of your goddamn fingers, because you're not watching it. It's not for you. How soon into Barbie do you think Deshaun Watson would full on masturbate? Like pulling it out, masturbating in the theater. How long do you think he could last? Until her feet break?
When does Michael Cera show up as Alan?
Not early enough.
Right, yeah. That would be a natural time. Hi, Barbie. I guess I should stop doing that. It was a lot of that.
And now it's time for
Ad copy.
So what do you do when your girlfriend's dropping hints? I feel like everyone's been getting rings this off season, at least on my Instagram feed. Shout out to my friend Rachel Bonetta. It's too late for her, but if you are looking for a ring and you have no clue where to start, JamesAllen.com is where you can buy the perfect engagement ring. A lot easier. It's the online destination for designing a custom engagement ring she'll love, and it's way easier than you ever thought possible. You can save up to 50% compared to traditional stores. The difference is you go check out online, Anthony. You can look at the 360 degrees. It's very easy. 200,000 different certified conflict-free diamonds. Earth-created, lab-created. People get into the diamonds. You find out what your woman likes, and you look at a million different options.
Hey,
and you
ladies.
can get help throughout the process.
Hey, ladies, steal your boyfriend's credit card, buy yourself a ring. That's legally binding. Get the real diamonds. See if you can get the conflict ones if you can. If it's his credit card, who gives a F? Who gives a flying squirrel what happens then? Take your own fate into your own hands like Barbie would have done if she had stolen someone's credit card in the film and wanted to marry them. Maybe that's the sequel. What's the name of the company?
JamesAllen.com, of
James
course.
Allen Barbie 2 : JamesAllen.com.
I feel like it would be a natural segue there, natural endorser for Barbie 2. Seriously, you could walk into a jewelry store, you look at their diamonds under a magnifying glass. You wouldn't be as close as you get on JamesAllen.com.
You get closer?
You get closer.
Wow.
You got the whole thing where you zero in
You
on
can
it.
stick it in your eye.
Well, not literally, but you can get up that close. James Allen offers augmented reality ring try-on, so you can see what it looks like on your hand. The thing that makes it the most helpful place to shop, and this was the part that convinced me, they offer real-time diamond consultation with non-commissioned experts who can walk you through the process. They're not getting commissions, so they're not going to like pressure you, but they can just educate you on the technical stuff. They'll advise you on all sorts of stuff, and you have free 30-day hassle-free returns. You can get resizing. You have a lifetime warranty, engraving. JamesAllen.com, the fastest-growing online retailer of engagement rings. Get 25% off when you go to JamesAllen.com. Use the code JRVP. That's code JRVP at JamesAllen.com for 25% off. Again, code JRVP, JamesAllen.com. Anthony has something else to say.
Let's say you're in love with someone and they don't really want to marry you. Okay, Aaron? Let's say you're in love with someone, they don't want to marry you. You go to JamesAllen.com. You pick out the ring, and you say, you talk to her for me. And they'll call the girl or the guy or them, and they'll convince them that you're the one for them. They will convince them to settle.
Super nice.
Or your money back.
They'll give you advice, really, sis, on how you want to do it. There's a lot of ways to go.
You get down on one knee in a gorilla costume, or you're not going to be married that long.
Oh, marriage, health, all the important things we're covering today. You know how you start your day every day, getting healthy. I know you know.
AG1.
It's AG1.
AG1.
It's AG1.
AG1.
It's AG1.
AG1.
Our next partner is AG1.
I wish I didn't have to use water to drink it. I wish I could just put a spoonful in my mouth and just dry it down. It's so good. I put water in it just to make the cleaning process easier. Every morning, ice cold water, 10 ounces, 1 scoop, shake it up, drink it down, rinse it out, put it back on the sink for tomorrow. When I'm on the road, you know it, AG1.
Travel packs. It's the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it every single day. You know, I gave it AG1 a try back in the day because of gut health. Now I just like it. It makes me feel better. I'm trying to get healthier. It's the perfect thing to have before or after a workout. And you know how we got a new box of AG1? Mm-hmm. Thank you to the AG1 gods up there who listen to us. Mm-hmm. Now they got a new screw-on cap. Did you check that out?
Yeah, the new one's nice. It's got a little metal
nice.
to it.
It's a little more solid. I'm not saying the old one's bad, but I like the new one.
That's when I take it on the road. That means we're platinum status. I'll tell you what, my gut health is so good. My gut health is so on point that when I throw up in my mouth a little bit, if I ever throw up in my mouth a little bit, it tastes good. It feels good in my throat. I like it when it happens. I wish more things would come into my life that would make me throw up in my mouth a little bit and then swallow back down, because with AG1, I like it.
It's packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, whole food sourced ingredients of high quality, and like we said, improves your gut and mood support, boosts your energy. If you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1. Get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. But yeah, don't forget, you get the AG1. That's the important part of it. Go to drinkag1.com/JRVP. That's drinkag1.com/JRVP. Check it out. So I know with AG1 you're feeling good, but you always want to have yourself covered. And with Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $25 a month for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer coverage in as little as a week. Get signed up quickly, and you can avoid medical exams. So, look, if you have life insurance, you know how it feels. It feels good that your family will be taken care of if anything should happen. Your family that depends on you. You wouldn't want them to worry about money. It's just something that's like not on your shoulder. You get life insurance, you feel like it's taking something off their shoulder. If you're already covered through work, employer-sponsored life insurance may not offer enough protection for your family's needs, and it won't follow you if you leave your job. I found out when I went on a contract at work, we weren't covered in the same way in terms of our life insurance at the NFL. You could still buy it, but it'd be better to go to Policy Genius, which is built to modernize the life insurance industry. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks. So they don't provide... they're not the life insurance company. They work for you, not the life insurance company. No added fees. Your personal details are private. Policy Genius is for parents, caregivers, anyone who has people that depend on them. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find and buy it. Head to policygenius.com. Click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com.
And that was...
Ad copy.
Let's get to headlines.
Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines.
All right, for the first time in 5 years, Anthony, an American citizen has been detained in North Korea. And it's for the dumbest reason possible. The dude was an American soldier, had been arrested in South Korea, spent some time in jail, was let out of the jail. They were going to bring him back to the States, I believe. And he saw an opportunity when he was near the border, and he just decided to make a run for it. And he made it. He made it. He's there in North Korea.
And now what's happening to him in North Korea?
We're not sure.
Like, it's so funny to me. I would love to know what he did in South Korea that got him arrested.
Okay, I think I could find that out quickly, but I think it was an assault. It didn't. I didn't see what the details were, but it might have been like for all I know, it was a bar fight with other soldiers. Maybe he beat up someone, but it was an assault.
And so, like, what would have happened to him if he hadn't run into North Korea? Because it seems like a out of the frying pan into the fire situation.
Yes.
It seems like they were like, hey, we were going to slap you on the wrist, and now you are most likely going to starve to death in a prison. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, they hate you, then you're cool with us, come party. Would you like to meet Dennis Rodman? That's not how it's going to go over there for him. Like, did they even try to chase him? Or they're like, hey, what are you doing?
So
You're going to die over there.
Okay, so there's a lot of fun details, but one of them is provided by a person who was in a tour group. So not like a tour group, regular citizens, but what happened was the guy was at the airport, the soldier. They were
On his way back to America.
I believe so. He was going to get on a plane, yeah. And he saw a group that was touring what's called the joint security area that separates the two countries. So that's where the airport is. And there's something called the joint security area. And a group of official-looking people are doing this tour. And he's a soldier, so I'm assuming he's in uniform. And he just kind of, I think they said he kind of, without getting any permission, kind of like, I don't know if he went to the bathroom, and then when he went out and escaped, he sees this other group, and he just kind of like walks in as if he's part of that group. And then he's just hanging out with that group. This is straight from a movie. And then a guy who was in this group says, all of a sudden, this man just gives out a loud ha 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 and just runs in between some buildings that separates the two countries. And he says he thought it was a bad joke at first, but then it was like, everyone went nuts. He didn't come back. He realized it wasn't a joke at all. And this guy like somehow escaped into North Korean territory.
That's a great tour. If I was touring and that happened on my tour, I'd be so psyched. And I love the idea of the tour guide. The tour guide's like, please be very serious. Do not run across the border. Do not joke with the soldiers. It's very serious. And then watching some guy laughing, sprinting across the border. He's going to die. There's no American is trying to get him back at all. Unless he can give up secrets. If they're like, we don't want him to tell all our bar fight secrets in South Korea. But it seems... I mean,
it could be a Rodman situation. Maybe he starts giving our secrets and he's treated like a king.
What secrets did Rodman give them?
It's like what Jordan was really doing that day when it was like the flu game,
what it's like to fuck Madonna. Like,
Yeah.
I like the idea of the guy running across the border and just showing up on the other side, being like, so, any guys speak English? Hey, could you guys, let me tell you what happened. They don't care. They're all starving. They're all eating dogs. It's bad over there. Do not run there. Whatever they're going to punish you with would have been better over here than would be over there.
I just like that, like the United Nations Command had to release like a statement about this, saying a U.S. national on the orientation tour without authorization crossed. We believe he's currently in North Korean custody. They're trying to resolve it, but I don't know. Travis King, his name is out there. Private second class Travis King, which I believe is it's about as low a class as you could get. I feel like if you're named Travis, you're on a watch list to begin with.
I feel like you said it's been 5 years or whatever, like 2018 since this happened.
Since someone was detained.
I kind of remember a story, and I don't know if it was in North Korea or somewhere else, where there was a college student who was on a trip, like a class trip to North Korea, and they were in like a building, like a government building, and like staying the night there, and he snuck into a room and stole like a banner off the wall and then got caught, and they're like, you're detained. And it's like, well, this is a college kid.
You got it. This happened in 2016. Yep.
And when did they get him back?
He was sentenced to 15 years of prison and hard labor, but he was later released into U.S. custody in a coma and died.
Yes. I forgot that. Yeah,
they released him once he was basically dead.
Yeah, they're like, this is bad. You guys have fun over there. This guy, it's going to be so much worse. He's military. It's bad. I don't know what you expected. I don't
know what the happy ending was here. I mean, people do cross the North Korean border. We read that book, Nothing to Envy, by Barbara Demick, remember? And people that, especially Chinese, there's like she was getting in as a reporter and like kind of figuring things out, but they're not doing it at the security area with like a military uniform on and escaping. Like, they're cool about it.
And they're not laughing when they do it.
No.
The ha-ha is going to give you away. Have fun over there, buddy. Have fun. Tell Kim Jong-un I say what's up.
I think that's my favorite Little interstitial
Little Succession.
song. I like that. The only thing worse than killing your child is hiring a hitman to kill your child. And that is what an 18-year-old Miami woman is alleged to have done, according to police. Her son's age, Anthony, that she hired the hitman unsuccessfully to try to kill her son, 3 years old.
Can't believe she made it through the terrible twos. Listen, this is ridiculous. Did she do the website, the fake website? Is that how
Yeah.
they caught her?
Yeah.
She went to hitman.com.
Essentially.
And was like, I want to kill my...
And it wasn't a government fake website. It was just like one of those dudes that likes to try
Yeah.
to catch people. Yeah.
But a 3-year-old, would she like make it look like an accident? Or would just like shoot him, say it's a drive-by? What was the plan?
I mean, she is done. She's charged with first-degree solicitation of murder and third-degree communication device. I was like, what more do you need to do to have a long prison sentence here? Because they double-checked. They did everything. They even had her end up meet with the guy and like go through everything that she wanted to do, because he immediately let law enforcement know, because even just contacting would have been enough. They did not give the details, but she definitely hired the guy to kill the kid, and they immediately like went to the address, and the kid was there with his grandmother, and he was fine, and he's safe, thankfully. But they went like back to the woman's office, and she just had the hitman site up on her browser. Like, she hadn't even closed the browser.
People are so dumb with their search history. It's like that woman who got like faked her own abduction and had been like Googling like, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? Like,
But you got to
we're so
close the
dumb.
tabs at least.
Doesn't matter. Once you search, it's over. They're getting you for it. This is the problem. How do we fall so far as a country that people can't kill their own 3-year-olds? I would think hiring a hitman, what does that cost? 10 grand?
$6 grand.
$6 grand? $2 grand a year? That's what they do? So it would have been 10 grand for
I don't think that.
5-year-old?
Shoot, I was wrong. That was from memory. It was only $3,000. Shit's cheap in Miami.
I would think that, but it's like, how much effort is it really? You know, it's picking it up and letting it go, if you will. It's an easy one that I would think she could have just, like, she could have easily killed this child herself. And then she's home free.
Right. Back when we were kids, there's no internet. No one's logging on to hitman.com. You just do that thing yourself. You don't ask someone else to do it.
Perfect crime. Say, hey, my 3-year-old climbed up a palm tree and then fell.
Jeez.
Palm trees in Miami are the dingoes of Australia. It's a baby killing machine, and no questions asked. No questions asked.
They got alligators too.
There's a good one. Oh. My 3-year-old got eaten by an alligator for free.
Well, that really was one of our news stories, wasn't it? Once that someone threw their kid in to try to
killed
eaten?
A kid, then threw the kid into the swamp, and the alligator.
That kid was already dead.
Yeah.
You said like, okay, she could have done this on her own, but I read this story and I thought, what a badass this boy must be. Like, she does not think she can take him down. He's cold-blooded. He's an assassin, perhaps. And she felt like she needed professional help because this kid's too tough. She doesn't deserve this kid. I think that's what I'm gonna say.
I bet. Here's my prediction: when this kid grows up, he's gonna have some issues. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Why didn't this woman have someone in her life that she could have asked for a favor? You know, you don't have to go on the World Wide Web and hire a hitman. Ask a friend. Hey, would you kill my 3-year-old son? Maybe they say no.
That could backfire.
But if you want someone to like you, you ask them for a favor. You don't do a favor for them, you ask them for a favor.
It's funny you mentioned that about the kid, because I was thinking no one ever needs to tell this kid this. I mean it for real. You're 3 years old. They don't remember anything. Like, he wouldn't know to begin with, first of all, because nothing ever happened. 5, 6, like even then they don't, like my kids, when you see them again, will barely remember they're getting old enough, they'll remember, but like things that you did with them when they were 5, 6, 7, they're not going to remember that. But her name is all over these articles. I don't need to say it here, but he's going to be able to Google it, and I guess there's no way for him to not know.
You don't think a 3-year-old child at any point in their life from there on forward would say, "Where's my mom?"
Yeah, that could be, but you could just say like she's in jail, which she will be, and you don't need to tell them what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kids will have no follow-up questions. Oh, she's in jail? Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't know. You could even say she's in jail for attempted murder, and just not say who it's about.
That's a great idea, Greg. You've solved it. Have a good life, kid. Have a good life. I wonder if the mom tries to spin it at any point, being like, "Well, at least I got you something. I was thinking about you."
Our next story is one that longtime listeners of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project.
JRVP.
No.
Junior Vice President.
Aaron, well, I talked about this in run through.
I pressed it. It didn't play at first.
That's what run through's for.
Yep.
Anthony's very fixated on the run through. You weren't happy with Aaron and I's level of concentration during your run through? Is that what you want to say?
Yeah.
I was rolling lint.
Yeah, I was
the
rolling
lights
Gregg.
are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of lint going on.
Mm-hmm.
I look like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I look like Christina Ricci as Wednesday back in the day. And I'm Linton, and I can listen to you go through the stories, which I've already lovingly written all up. I got the whole thing. It's up and down.
That is lovingly.
It was loving. You know what I don't love? Pickleball.
But you hate
But you
it.
know what I do love?
What's that?
People trying to take down pickleball. It needs to be destroyed. If you played, you are the enemy. Respect to those on the front line, like the Canadian couple in British Columbia who have launched a hunger strike to protest all the pickleball noise in the neighborhood. Anthony, this is it. Only hunger strikes, only for the most important shit.
I love this because no one who plays pickleball gives a flying fuck if these people live or die. They don't care at all. There's never been a complaint to a pickleballer. They've been like, oh, okay, we'll wrap it up. Let's take it home. They don't care at all. That hunger strike seems extreme. What did they try something first, or was it like, you know what, hunger strike?
Yeah, they've tried for a few years. They got some bad luck. They bought a house right next to like a park. And they said they've always enjoyed the noise, like kids playing. There were tennis courts there. They're like, that's part of it. And they're right next to the park. They have like a deck that's like 200 feet away, less. And they were like, that was all cool. Then this pickleball thing came in a couple years ago. They've tried to take official means, writing letters, getting things changed, asking it to be soundproof. Nothing's working. They're pickleballing all day, every day.
How long have they been on hunger strike for?
I believe we're supposed to start, we're taping this on a Tuesday. I need an update. They were supposed to start on Sunday.
Did they announce it in advance?
Oh,
or
they have
hunger
signs.
strike now?
Let's watch and listen to a little clip from the news report, because this was big news in Canada.
For large parts of the day, the couple is forced to endure the constant smack of pickleball hitting paddle on these city courts.
Have you heard of a torture technique when a drop of water is put on your forehead once, twice, and then every day consistently? It's like that.
I just gave you like a little taste of it.
I believe it. So that's the guy who's on hunger strike.
He's going to. In a statement, he also said, as staunch followers of Mahatma Gandhi, we've decided to follow the path shown by him to deal with systemic injustice. We would prefer death over continuing to live the life of second-class citizens we have been reduced to due to the callous and discriminatory attitude of the city.
I love it. Here's what I think is going to happen with pickleball.
He's also going to sit on the pickleball courts, too. It's a sit-in.
Good.
Too.
If you're not eating, you're allowed to sit in the pickleball courts if you can't bring food. I think pickleball is going to have to move indoors. Like I knew a girl Liz went to art school with is actually opening her own pickleball venue. And I was like, really? Like, are you shitting me? Like, Gregg hates that so much. He's like, it's going to be an indoor thing. And I'm like, okay. Indoor solves everyone's problem.
Sure.
You go there, you play pickleball in there, no one can hear the pickleball. Because it is just the sound, right?
And taking over the public places. Because if you look at this park, like, they just sort of commandeered like where kids would be playing Foursquare before. It wasn't like
How
tennis.
soon do you think until someone is killed playing pickleball? Like, and that like someone just takes a gun and walks over to the court and fires?
I mean, it could be our friend there, Rajneesh.
Because if Rajneesh is pissed, have you ever seen the movies that Rajneesh watches? They're loud as fuck. There's so much going on. That for pickleball to drive him nuts, like he's seen it. He's been there.
His wife was saying like they were totally cool. They were good. They were good with all the noise beforehand, and it's just driving them crazy. I mean, I can imagine 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Their deck is like basically on top of the pickleball court. The Chilliwack Pickleball Club president, Lyle Simpson, was also featured. And he said his club said don't use that court anymore out of consideration for this couple. But there's nothing that he can do to stop. People are still just like showing up and doing it. Even if
pickleballers are like, oh, this guy's starving himself to death. Let's go play over there. Let's go see if we can get a peek of him. We hate the pickleball people, scum of the earth.
I just feel like I hope your friend does well, Liz's friend, because it just feels like the same sort of people that were super into NFTs. I feel like there's a big NFT to pickleball carryover. Like they're just going to the next thing, and then they're gonna be moving on to the next thing at some point.
I hate them. I hate them all. I've never talked to anyone who plays pickleball, but just they're like, we like pickleball. Have you played pickleball yet? You'd love it. Pickleball. Get the fuck. Play tennis or play baseball or play hockey.
Play indoors.
Or play
pickleball.
volleyball.
I'm fine with indoors.
Or play soccer or play cricket. Anything but pickleball. Pickleball is for losers.
Damn.
It's
because
for losers.
Because you said you wanted some Q people to chime in if they listen to JRVP.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a lot more pickleball players, I think, among our audience than members of QAnon.
I listen, from what I have found, like talking to my friends after Sound of Freedom. After talking to my friends at Sound of Freedom, I think they could get into pickleball. You know, there are people who they have this like conspiracy theory against something, like maybe it's tennis, and they fucking suck. And they're fucking losers.
Damn.
And I think that they would all find common ground.
And if you're listening and you are a pickleball player and your feelings are hurt right now, just remember we're past 40 minutes. Whatever Anthony says right now,
I don't remember.
He can't remember it. He can't be held accountable.
Was Nate Bargatze there? I don't know. It's been 40 minutes.
It goes fucking crazy at 40 minutes.
What if QAnon turned on pickleballers? What if it was like, hey, I don't think it's celebrities and politicians having sex with these children that have been trafficked, allegedly. I think it's pickleballers. I think they're playing the game to see who wins, and whoever wins gets to have sex with the kids they trafficked. I'm willing to put good money down on this premise of mine.
How would that work?
I think it's true.
Okay. I think so too. And I think Q could kind of look at the pickleball players as like the other group that just arrived to jail. And you know how you want to show you're the toughest guy at jail? You take them out. Q versus pickleball. What Anthony has his check.
I've got $100 in
wallet
20s.
out.
$100. I got 5 20s here. I'm going to put it down on my theory.
All right. Got to respect that. New wallet, too.
No, I've had this. I've had this for years.
That's good.
I have some more video footage of this story. If you
Oh, wow.
Please.
I didn't even ask for this. This is extra.
That's it.
Thank you, Aaron.
Imagine if you heard that outside your house all day, every day, just the sound of a whale going in a dumpster. You would eat so much you would explode. It would be the opposite.
That's a good job by Aaron. Shorten the clip.
Thank you, Aaron.
Last headline.
All right, so Kevin Spacey, still alive.
Still a heartthrob. I didn't turn on Kevin Spacey the way a lot of people did. I think he's still a fucking dog.
It's awkward. Him still kind of just being out there.
I go back and I watch Pay It Forward every weekend. It's my comfort film. I like to watch.
Is that with Gregg Kinnear?
Pay It Forward, 3 words. Sound of Freedom, 3 words.
I didn't put it together like that.
Right?
Look at fucking Q over here.
The second word in their titles, both 2 letters.
Wow. Wow. I'm seeing all these connections now. Kevin Spacey, people turned on him too quick. You watch Pay It Forward now, it still holds up. When Haley Joel Osment gets shot,
I never saw it.
it's unbelievable. I think Kevin Spacey's a burn victim for no reason. And then, Haley Joel Osment is like, I think we should be nice to each other. By one person does a nice thing, and the next person does a nice thing for someone else. It's called paying it forward. And then he gets shot. He's fucking dead. Is Helen Hunt in that piece of shit?
Yep.
Wait, he dies? I should know this because my knowledge of Pay It Forward is every 5 years or so, Anthony reminds me while giggling that Haley Joel Osment was shot in Pay It Forward.
He got killed. To be honest, I've never seen the movie, but I did read reviews that say, why did they make this? Why did they put this kid in there to kill him? Why does Helen Hunt want to have sex with Kevin Spacey? I mean, I know why.
It is a bummer though.
Because he's a great actor.
Yeah.
And he gets the job done. Glenn Ross, that's Kevin Spacey's movie.
K-Pax?
K-Pax? Try making that without K-Space. You can't. I don't even know what the story is, but Kevin Spacey is the JRVP listener of the week.
I'll tell you right now. Now the JRVP listener of the week. Now the JRVP listener of the week. The JRVP listener of the week.
If I'm ever at a party and I'm tired and I want to go take a nap, I don't need to set the alarm on my phone. I'm going to hope that I get woken up by Kevin Spacey in that bed during that party. Or maybe right after the party's over. What happened with Kevin Spacey this week?
He was dealing with a number of sexual assault allegations. He's in court. And he told the court last week that he didn't sexually assault one of the accusers, the first one that they're going through, just that they touched in a romantic and intimate way.
This is what I'm saying. There's no gray area anymore in this country. With cancel culture, other things. You can't just go up and romantically touch someone without them saying it's assault.
Right.
And taking you to court.
Spacey said that the guy who's accusing him was funny, was charming, flirtatious, and over time, I'm assuming it was me, this is Kevin Spacey's words, began to touch him in more romantic and intimate ways, and that he never thought the man would 20 years later stab him in the back.
Listen, that's how it is now. You're talking to someone, all right? Greg, let's say you and I are talking, all right? And you're giving me the vibe.
Yeah.
All right. Why wouldn't you be? I'm Kevin Spacey.
Right.
Okay. And then we're talking.
You're fucking Lex Luthor and Superman something.
The one with the Superman Returns. Yeah. The one with Brandon Routh.
Yep.
Directed by Bryan Singer. I'm sure that set was awesome.
Yeah. That's a good time. You want to hear about the set. And if you got to flirt with me to get the information, you're going to do it. And then while we're flirting, I'm getting the signals, Greg. You know what I'm going to start doing?
Touching
romantically touching you. You got to watch the video to see romantically touching. Okay, you're getting both shoulders.
It's very rhythmic.
You're alternating shoulders. You're touching. Maybe you're brushing ear. That's all part of the dance. It's part of the courtship. And if it's Kevin Spacey doing the romantic touching, then I guess maybe 20 years later, you want him to pay for it?
Pay it forward.
Exactly. That's why he's the listener of the week. So I think from now on, because of woke culture and Bud Light and Barbie and Sound of Freedom, yep. Because of these things now, you got to tell them what you're doing. It's like giving a speech. You tell them what you're going to tell them, then you tell them what you told them. You tell them you're going to touch them. You tell them how you're going to touch them, and then you touch them, and then you told them how you touch them.
Well, how it, like, in this case, show me how you would.
Okay.
Touch. Yeah.
Great. All right. So first, we're talking.
Okay.
We're talking. I got my hands at my sides. All right. And then it's and then it's business touch. You know, business touch. Okay, everything's fine. I'm going to test it out. I see a glint in your eye. You're into it. Friend touch. Okay, we're a little more formal. We're a little more informal. We know each other. We might have a drink after work, and then it's romantic touch.
Oh, that's it.
Romantic touch, and then if you're into it, 20 years later, I find out if I'm not in trouble.
I've never believed that our YouTube channel is more valuable than for this episode for the last 5 minutes. You know how sometimes it's like traffic on a show or a site, a YouTube channel just kind of stays along and it steadily grows, and then they have one episode that just explodes. This is it.
You want to see how to do the romantic touch, and if you're your expert level, if you are Kevin Spacey, yes, you can do a professional touch on top and a romantic touch on the bottom. You just can't hit them at the same time. That's when the alarm goes off. But the point of this is, get Kevin Spacey in a Marvel movie. Indiana Jones, the new one that bombed, you switch out Harrison Ford with Kevin Spacey, that's a hit movie. The Flash, you put Kevin Spacey in that movie instead of the one guy who's Flash, that's your Flash. Am I right, Aaron?
I mean, right on.
I'd hate to lose Ezra Miller, though. Maybe they could be a father-son Flash situation. Spacey and Ezra Miller together.
Yeah, I'd watch that movie. Their father-son who switch places and have sex with each other, I'd watch that movie. Touches, touch. Get Kevin Spacey in more movies and more TV shows. Kevin Spacey, season 3, The Bear. What would you not give to watch that right now?
Maybe like a guest judge on Top Chef. Mm-hmm. He'd be great.
He'd be great at that.
Let's bring back Terrace House. Put him in it.
I'd love that.
Ted Lasso needs a new coach.
Ted Lasso, Kevin Spacey as the new coach would be even more heart-wrenching and heartwarming than the original Ted Lasso. You know what? I've got $100 right here. I'll put it down. Put Kevin Spacey in a movie or a beloved TV show. Go back to Little House on the Prairie. Get your CGI in there. Get Michael Landon the fuck out of there. What has he ever done for anyone lately? Put Kevin Spacey in. Now you got a show. Now you got a classic. Kevin Spacey, if you're listening, JRVP Junior Vice President at gmail.com. Let us know what movie you want to get into. I got $100. I'll get you in. And now it's time for Recommendation Station.
Damn, I wish I brought the book because the Book of Goose by Yi-Yun Lee has a knockout cover. It's really good cover. The international version. That doesn't matter. This book was incredible. I wanted to get off the book recommendations every week, just like take a little break. But this is one of my favorite books I've read all year. It was the perfect book to read coming back because I was just up all night with jet lag, and it was like a great, kind of spooky, weird book. It starts with the narrator learning that her childhood friend had died, and then she goes on to describe the friendship in it. Some people, I looked at the Goodreads comments, and people were mad because they were expecting it to be Ferrante, the Neapolitan series, because there is some similarities. It's like this young woman friendship, but it's like that looks casual by comparison. It is a very strange book where they pretend one person pretends to be an author, and her friend actually writes the book. I can't really describe it other than it's strange, and it's one I'll remember a lot of time. It's mostly set in 1950s France. It took huevos. I am in awe of Yi-Yun Lee's talent. I want to go check out her other book because she's just so talented, and this book is truly unlike anything I'd read. It's called The Book of Goose by Yi-Yun Lee.
Spell Yi-Yun Lee.
Lee is her surname, and then Yi-Yun is Y-I-Y-U-N.
Y-I-Y-U-N.
And then L-I is her last name. Yeah,
Lee.
L-I.
So you said Lee and then didn't spell it, hoping that people would think it was L-I.
I messed it up. L-I. Thank you, though, for pointing that out. That's good.
It's called Goose.
The Book of Goose, by Yi-Yun Lee, and L-I, spelled last name. It'll be on my list at the end of the year. I really enjoyed it.
I liked that book better the first time I read it when it was called Ducks Newburyport. My recommendation this week is a brand new book that I've been very excited about this book all year. When this author announced that he was writing a new book in this series, I was very excited. And then he announced it's only the second in a threequel. So I'm very pumped for that. It's called Crook Manifesto by Colson Whitehead. I've read everything Colson Whitehead's ever written.
I want to read
He
this.
is absolutely incredible. His last book, The Harlem Shuffle, I think was the first book in this, sets up the character. I think it takes place in the 60s. He's owns a furniture shop and has to deal with the riffraff of Harlem. The second one's even better. I love the second one. It's almost like three kind of vignettes. One's about like a quest for Jackson 5 tickets that goes crazy. One is like they're trying to make a blaxploitation film. It's incredible, a very fun read. I hope this. I read this and I'm like hoping they make it into like an HBO show. This would be like a great 4-season series following these characters. A movie, I'd take whatever. But Colson Whitehead, I will read everything he ever writes. He is the best. Crook Manifesto, Colson Whitehead. Give it a try. Aaron, you got anything this week?
Yeah, I rewatched a Tom Cruise movie to kind of prepare for my Mission Impossible Heimer. I don't know if you saw this, Night and Day.
Mm-hmm.
Back, I believe it's 2010 with Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Directed by the same guy, James Mangold, who did the most recent Indiana Jones movie. Mm-hmm. And it's great.
No, it is not. I get why people like it. I enjoyed the movie. The most famous thing about that movie, Aaron, Night and Day, is that Tom Cruise turned down Iron Man to do Night and Day.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yes.
How did I not know this?
Iron Man would have been a bad movie with Tom Cruise as the star. He would have changed things. It would have been bad. It wouldn't have been what it was with Robert Downey Jr., but it would have been better for Tom. He did that movie. That movie tanked. I liked it. I liked his character in that movie. Cameron Diaz annoyed me, but it's not a bad movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I yelled.
I just like that it's like they always talk about the Mission Impossible movies that he's like unromantic and almost inhuman in those, and he doesn't. I was like, he doesn't smile at all. This is maybe the last movie where Tom Cruise smiles in it, and he's charming. It's like, let's get back to that.
Oh, then you're gonna love this new Mission Impossible where he's just like, I love my teammates. I love my teammates so much. My wife. My wife you've never met. We never brought her up before this movie. Anyway.
They have it's Michelle Monaghan.
And that was. Nope, different wife.
Oh.
Not Michelle Monaghan, someone from before that you truly never.
Oh, wow.
It's like Dominic Toretto has a brother.
Yeah.
No one's ever mentioned before. Stop making those movies.
Wow.
Make another Mission Impossible. Bring Henry Cavill back and the guy from The Bathroom who they fight. Yeah. Bring those two guys back, or I'm not coming to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. And that was.
Choo-choo.
Recommendation Station. Hey, Walker, do me a solid. You know what? I got, before I peace out, when the kids get back, I got presents for them.
Oh, wow.
I ordered some cool stuff that they will look down their nose at and ask me, where's their iPad?
I'm flying solo for a couple more weeks, but I'll let them know.
All right. Well, when I get back next week, we will go see Oppenheimer. Again, we're off next week. Send me your tattoo things. I love you all. I love you, Kevin Spacey. Walker.
Whoa, Nelly Furtado, that's a spicy meatball.